Hey everybody, James here with my first actual on-time Blu-ray update. So this will be an update for the month of March. I actually picked up quite a few titles, mainly because I joined the Disney Movie Club, so my introductory order came in on that, and that was like 7 movies for like really cheap compared to like what Disney movies typically are in the store. So I've got a couple here that I haven't seen. I'm going to run through those ones first, and then I'll talk about the ones that I have watched. So the first one on the list here is Black Death featuring Sean Bean. Haven't seen this movie. Kind of had heard about it, but didn't really look into it when it first came out a few years ago. But I saw it at the dollar store for $3. I figured it'd be worth picking up and maybe watching once. Might be one that I watch and get rid of. Who knows? But I figured for $3 for a Sean Bean, and I think Eddie Redmayne's in it too. It's before he became really popular. So I figured, $3 might be worth a watch. The next one was another dollar store pickup, and that is Slow West. Michael Fassbender, Cody Smith McPhee, and Ben Mendelsohn are starring in it. Again, not one that I really know a whole lot about, but it was at the dollar store. Again, $3, so I figured it could be a good watch, maybe once. Might hold on to it, might not. But I really like Michael Fassbender, so yeah, I figured I'd pick it up and give it at least a once over. And the last one here that hasn't been watched is Dallas Buyers Club. I wanted to see this one when it was nominated for all its Oscars back 2014, I want to say. And I really want to see Matthew McConaughey's performance. Again, I don't think this might be one that I might not keep. It's kind of hard to say right now. I might watch it and be like completely blown away, but this might be one of those watch it once and then debate whether or not to keep it or not. But again, it was at the dollar store, so pick it up for really cheap and see where I go with that. Plus, it's a Blu-ray and DVD combo pack. Usually, the Blu-rays at the dollar store are just Blu-rays. So to find a combo pack like this was quite the find. So the next couple of ones are ones that I have seen, but not in a long time. So the first one is another dollar store pickup, Underworld Awakening or Underworld 4. I've been really holding out to get the 5 pack because I really like the Underworld movies. I know the first one's really good, the second one's okay, the third one is meh, the fourth one's actually really good, and the fifth one's also kind of meh. But I find them really entertaining. I just can't justify paying like 50 or $60 for the whole box set. So to find the fourth one at the dollar store for $3 was, and I just figured, no, I'll just find the other ones individually and just pick them up that way. Um, I do remember enjoying Underworld Awakening a lot more than I anticipated. I remember it getting a lot of flack, and I was kind of surprised by how much flack it got. Because when I watched it, I actually thought it was actually really good. But I could rewatch this and go, it's just kind of mindless fluff. But yeah, again, picked it up at the dollar store. Couldn't go wrong. The next one is a 3 pack, and that is The Goonies, Gremlins, and Gremlins 2. So I'm kind of cheating on this one because I've seen Goonies, I've seen Gremlins, I've never actually seen Gremlins 2. I heard it wasn't that great, so I kind of avoided it, but then I've been hearing some positivity coming from it, so now I'm really interested to check it out. This was on sale at Walmart, and it came with a ticket to go see either Dwayne Johnson's new film Rampage or Spielberg's Ready Player One. I haven't decided which one I'm going to go see yet. As of this recording, neither of them has come out. Um, I know I'm kind of doing my March review or my March update on the 27th, not the end of March. But I don't foresee me getting anything else this month, so I figured I had the time to do it now. But anyways, onto this 3 pack. I just recently watched The Goonies like in February. I had a DVD copy of it, and my wife had been pressuring me to watch. Well, not pressuring me, but like she'd been really wanting me to see it, and I just kept putting it off. I don't know why I put it off. It was a fantastic film. Um, I'm kind of glad that I watched it older. Like I know a lot of people would be like, "Oh, how could you not? How could you grow up and not watch something like The Goonies?" And it's like, you know what? I'm glad that I watched it when I was older because I don't think I would have appreciated it when I was younger. I could be wrong, but But the real grab for me was Gremlins. I love Gremlins, and I've never actually owned it. I've watched it on TV a couple of times. My brother-in-law got it for Christmas one year, so we watched it there. But I've never actually owned my own copy, VHS, DVD, you name it. I've never actually owned a copy of Gremlins, so it was really cool to be able to add this to my collection and then also upgrade the Goonies. So I gave away the DVD of that and have the Blu-ray. I have no idea if there's any bonus features on any of these movies. It is nice because it's a 3-disc set, so there's a disc separate for each movie, which is really nice because I hate these like Blu-ray multi-packs where it's like the two movies are on the same disc and they like short you on any like bonus features. So I haven't actually checked this one out to see if there's any bonus features. It does say down here, if I can get it to focus. I can't, but here it says main feature, and then underneath it says special features, so there might be like the theatrical trailers or something. I don't know, but yeah, I'm looking forward to giving Gremlins another rewatch and finally checking out Gremlins 2. The next one is another multi-pack, and this is one of the first ones in this pile that I got from the Disney Movie Club, and that is Aladdin and the King of Thieves and The Return of Jafar. I haven't watched the Blu-ray of this yet, but I grew up watching these movies. These two and the original Aladdin are staples of my childhood. So when I saw that the movie club had an exclusive Blu-ray of these two, I had to get it with my introductory thing. I know a lot of people aren't a huge fan of either one of these, but like I said, these are just nostalgic classics for me. I'm very disappointed that there's no like bonus features or anything, especially for King of Thieves, which brought back Robin Williams as the genie. There are so many lines in King of Thieves, it just makes me laugh a lot. But I remember being impressed by the adventure of Return of Jafar. Looking back on it, I think it's probably weaker than I gave it credit for. I think nostalgia goggles are kind of blinding me on it. But I really, really had to pick this up. I love Aladdin. Aladdin's like my favorite Disney film. And these are like the only direct-to-video Disney movies that I was willing to go out of my way to get, because a lot of the Disney movies, the direct-to-DVD sequel comes with the main movie. So it's like I have no interest in Mulan 2, but I have it because I wanted Mulan, and I had no interest in Kronk's New Groove, but I really wanted Emperor's New Groove, and the only way to get that on Blu-ray was to get the two of them. So these were the only direct-to-video sequels that I actually went out of my way to get. So I look forward to revisiting these, and even if they're not great, it'll still bring back childhood memories and all that nostalgic, gushy stuff. The next one's another one that I picked up with the Disney Movie Club, and that is Cars 3. I figured, you know what, discounted price. So for those that don't know, the Disney Movie Club, when you join, you get, depending on how you go about it, you get 4 or 5 movies for $1, or you get 5 movies for $5. It depends on where you go. I found a link that got me 5 movies for $1 plus another movie for 15, and then a 7th movie for like 10. So like all in all, it came to like $30 for like 7 movies, where usually it's about $30 for one of these. The downside is that I've got to get 5 movies through the Disney Movie Club in the next 2 years, but I like Disney movies, and I'll probably wind up succeeding that before the end of this year. So, but we'll see. But yeah, so I had to pick up Cars 3 because it's a newer release, and I really like Cars 3. Cars 3 is the truest successor to Cars. I own Cars 2. I kind of like Cars 2, mainly just because I like the characters, but I feel like this is the true sequel to Cars, the original. If I watched Cars and then watched this and just skipped 2, I'd be happy. I'd be fine. But I saw this one in theaters. I haven't watched my Blu-ray of it yet. But I was really impressed by it. And I actually really like the first Cars. I know a lot of people say it's the weakest Pixar. I disagree. I think there's a couple other ones that are a little bit weaker. But yeah, I really enjoyed Cars 3, and I am excited to give it a rewatch. And maybe even do a Cars marathon, or maybe just Cars and Cars 3, I don't know. But yeah, I was happy to pick this one up. I think this was one of the ones that they counted towards, like it was the higher price one. It wasn't the 25-cent one, but still, it was a great deal nonetheless. The next one's another one that I got with the Disney. I guess this is the third one that I got from the Disney Movie Club, and that is Doctor Strange. Um, as you'll see in the next couple of entries in this video, I had to finish off my Marvel collection. Um, Partially because I wanted I want all the Marvel movies on Blu-ray, and partially because I'm doing that. As you may have seen in that last video that I posted, I'm doing the Road to Infinity War marathon, so one Marvel movie a week leading up to Avengers Infinity War. So I wanted to get my own copies of a couple of these because my brother-in-law had this, and he put the digital copy up for me, so I had access to that, and then a couple of the other ones I had varying methods of watching. I wanted my own copies of them. So in terms of Doctor Strange, I really like it. I think it's a visually stunning movie. Um, when I walked out of it in theaters, I felt kind of underwhelmed. Like I felt like the movie was finally picking up just as it ended. But when I rewatched it after theaters, I kind of changed my tune on that. But I still felt like there was something maybe missing from it. But I don't know. It could just be me. Maybe when I finally get around to rewatching this in a couple of weeks for the whole Infinity War marathon, my perspective of it will have completely changed. But nevertheless, I think Benedict Cumberbatch did a great job as the main character, and I think there's a lot to enjoy about this movie. It's not my strongest or even most favorite Marvel movie, but it's still enjoyable. The next one is not one that I picked up with the Disney Movie Club. I picked this one up at Walmart. Um, but it's another Marvel movie, and that is Thor Ragnarok. Haven't watched the Blu-ray yet because I'm holding off until I get to it in the Marvel Marathon. But this was an incredibly fun film when I saw it in theaters. Much better than either of the other two Thor movies. I think this is the strongest of the three Thor movies. Um, just a great performance from everybody around. There's a lot of humor into it. I feel like they took a couple cues from Guardians of the Galaxy, but I had thought that even when I saw the first trailer for it, I thought there was a lot that kind of reminded me of Guardians of the Galaxy. But yeah, Thor's great in this. Loki's great in this. Hulk is awesome in this. It's just an all-around fun popcorn film, especially considering like the next two films that came out after this were Black Panther, which was pretty serious, and Infinity War looks like it's going to be the most serious of the Marvel films. So this was kind of a nice breathing, wind down, fun kind of. There are some stakes at hand, but like not like in terms of like the whole Marvel universe thing. I think like it was a good fun kind of rest period before we get to the really intense stuff that's coming around the corner. So look forward to rewatching that. This next one is actually one that I just watched a couple weeks ago because of the Marvel movies, and it's one that I got from the movie club, and that is Avengers Age of Ultron. I had this on DVD, and was really happy to have it on DVD, but I don't know, I've got this mentality that I want my movies on Blu-ray, so there's actually, it says it's only Blu-ray digital, but I kept the DVD, so I've got a DVD copy and the Blu-ray copy in here. But I was happy to get the cool new slipcovers. It even has like the Phase 2 marked on the spine and everything. So, but in terms of like actual content, I think it's just the same as the regular Blu-ray. It's just new packaging. But I really enjoyed Age of Ultron. I've only watched it twice. The second time was just a couple weeks ago when I watched my Blu-ray of it. I was kind of concerned because when I first saw it in theaters, I was like super hyped for it, super excited for it, and a lot of people were saying that it wasn't as good as the first one, and I didn't really understand it. But then I kind of looked at some of the elements that, like some of the aspects that people have brought up, and I was kind of, maybe it's not that good. And finally getting around to rewatching it, I still think it's really good. I think the first one is a bit better, just because it was more of the the whole like conglomerating of it. There's not much like in terms of like it's just another Avengers movie really. It's not there's nothing kind of like Infinity War coming out is kind of exciting because we've got more characters being added to the mix. This one was just basically like a rehash of the first Avengers, more or less, but still very entertaining. I still had a lot of fun with it. The humor's good, the action's fun. Yeah, it's more of the same of the first Avengers film. The next one is the last Marvel film on the in this entry, and that is AntMan. This one I didn't own a copy of at all, and I'd only seen it in theaters. Since I never got another copy, I never actually watched it a second time. So I actually just watched this one a couple of days ago for the Marvel Marathon, and it's pretty good. Another one of those origin story films that kind of like Doctor Strange. I felt like it was missing something. I felt like it was finally like getting into its momentum at the end. But that being said, Ant-Man and the Wasp looks amazing. I cannot wait for that. That looks really good, and it looks like it's kind of like, like how I said, this one kind of like starts to pick up and then it ends. I feel like those Ant-Man and the Wasp is gonna like continue on from that point. It's not gonna be like a rehash of this one. I think it's gonna like continue the story and stuff, which would be really cool. But the effects are really good in this. Paul Rudd does a great job as the main character. Rest of the characters, aside from maybe Michael Pena, and Michael Douglas, the rest of the actors are they're kind of there. So I really hope that Evangeline Lilly's character gets a little more detail and a little bit better fleshing out in the sequel. Hopefully, because like her name's in the title, the Wasp. But yeah, Ant-Man's still a pretty fun Marvel film. So the next one is, I guess this one's number 6 on the movie club films, and that is The Lion King, another staple of my childhood. I don't think there's anything I could say about The Lion King that hasn't already been said. It's a gorgeous looking film. You can watch this film just on mute and still like get a ton out of it. There's some good humor moments from Timon and Pumbaa, but there's like really strong story to it. But yeah, growing up as a kid, I just watched it mainly for Timon and Pumbaa and some of the songs and stuff. But like watching it now as an adult, there's so much more to appreciate. The animation is gorgeous. The colors are just so vibrant, especially on the Blu-ray. I wanted to get the Diamond Edition 5 years ago, I think it was, when it first came out on Blu-ray, and I didn't get the chance to. So when they re-released the Signature Edition, and I saw it as one of my options for my introductory Disney thing, I I had to jump on it. But yeah, interesting though. Rewatching this, it has a sing-along version and the theatrical version. So I have the Platinum DVD edition, and it came with a bonus song that was integrated into the movie. It was Zazu's Morning Report song. That's not on here. So I'm actually going to keep the Platinum Edition DVD, so that way I've got pretty much everything Lion King. So, but yeah, really enjoyed this one, and happy to finally have a Blu-ray copy of it. And then the last one that I got from the Disney Movie Club was Pirates of the Caribbean: Dead Men Tell No Tales. Not my favorite Pirates entry. It might be the weakest of the series. I'm torn between this one and On Stranger Tides. But that being said, my favorite is At World's End, which a lot of people don't seem to like, so who knows. But I know a lot of people weren't a huge fan of this one. I'm a completionist, though, so I've got the other 4, so I really wanted this one just to round out everything. But I do enjoy watching Johnny Depp as Jack Sparrow. It's very entertaining. There are a couple of good moments in this, but I don't know what they were exactly trying. Like, this one almost felt kind of more direct to video than theatrical. But yeah, it's still Pirates fun. So, and if I was doing a Pirates marathon, which would probably take me the better part of a good day and a half, maybe, wouldn't be the best way to end things. But yeah, it would still be fun to be able to do that. So. Yeah, I can't really speak much more about Pirates. I don't know how I feel about it. It's got some strong elements. It's got some really weak elements. It's meh. It's really all I can say about it. So it just got two more movies left on this update. The next one is Murder on the Orient Express. More Johnny Depp, coincidentally. I had never seen the original 1970s film, and I've never read the book. Just went based on just this one. I like Kenneth Branagh. He's got a good direction style, and he seems to be a different character every time I see him, which is pretty impressive. I really enjoyed this movie. I thought it was a little slow at points, and I thought that there was kind of like a lot of lull periods. But the character of Poirot was really entertaining, and just kind of his interactions with the different characters was cool. But yeah, I did find it to be a bit slow. Um, but overall, it was an entertaining mystery film. Um, I don't know how easy it'll be to rewatch it, but for a blind buy, it was actually pretty decent. Good performances, like all-star cast, and yeah, it was entertaining. What my wife and I wanted was a good murder mystery kind of movie, and this delivered. So that's all we could really ask for. And then the final film, rounding out this very long video, is Disney's Coco. Didn't get this one from the movie club. I was too late to pick it up as their featured title, so I just went and got it at Walmart. And this is actually really good. Pixar's been improving in the last couple of years. A couple of movies have been kind of okay, but not great. This was a really strong movie. This movie again has gorgeous visuals. Um, I didn't find myself getting nearly as choked up as a lot of people found themselves to be, but I've come to just determine that when it comes to watching movies, I'm kind of heartless. I don't seem to get choked up at a lot of stuff. Um, that being said, the ending of Guardians of the Galaxy 2 still gets me every time. But I'm just odd that way. If you guys got emotional at the end of this, get emotional. Like don't hold that stuff back. But just for me, I was shocked by the reveal at the end, and it did warm my heart. I just wasn't like brought to tears like a lot of people said they were. But nevertheless, this was a very entertaining film. Great characters, great design. I know a lot of people compared this when the trailer was released. They compared it to Fox's The Book of Life, I think it was called, which was also a very good movie. But this is very different from that. I know it still has the Mexican Day of the Dead feel to it, but this and The Book of Life are two completely different films. So if you're looking at this going, oh, it's just a rip off of that, put that out of your brain because it's completely different. But very good film. Pixar at their A game as usual, and I was really entertained by this one. So that is it for my March Blu-ray update. Let me know in the comments below if you've seen any of these movies and what your thoughts on them are, or if there's anything here that you want to see. Let me know if that's let me know let me know what your guys' thoughts on these movies are. And as always, thanks for watching, and if you like this, don't forget to subscribe if you yourself are jonesing for film.